we do 30, we don't know how to talk for 30 minutes in a PG way.
Oh, that'd be PG.
Yeah, you gotta be
Glad you
PG.
said that.
Yeah, don't be over there. Cut that.
Cheers. Air cheers.
We have our Jamari here, officially.
Welcome back to the Bender Boys Podcast, episode 6.
Yeah, we're still chugging along. Yeah.
We have gotten a total of 6 views on all of our episodes so far.
Thanks, my mom, your mom.
Yes. My dog watched it one day.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
But no, it's actually, it's been fun so far, so.
Yeah, we're having fun, and that's what matters.
Yeah, we're having fun, and what does Gary Vee say? You just got to put out content.
That's
See
true.
what happens.
Yeah, we'll get there.
So, welcome back. We are here. We have a guest on the pod today. He is not in the screen.
Just like stick your hand over here, you know.
Um,
There it is. Yeah.
Our security guard, Jamari. He's here. He's joining us, having a nice little drink.
Yeah, we're gonna get another microphone. We're gonna start doing this thing upright. But
Yeah.
just St. Pat's was a rough weekend, or a good weekend, but busy is probably the word. It was a busy weekend. So
fresh after St. Patty's Day in Savannah, Georgia, which was a lot of fun.
So much fun that all we have left in the fridge are Kirkland brand hard seltzers.
Yes, this is not an ad.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm not showing you the logo.
Yeah.
Because
it rhymes with Kirkland, whatever.
It was fun.
We have the third largest parade I think I saw.
Yeah,
I always thought it was higher.
It's like the second largest. It goes back and forth between New York and here.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of celebrity guests here.
Yeah, Conor McGregor being the main one.
Yeah, Conor McGregor was here in his proper 12 float.
The entire Savannah SWAT team. You could tell it was a celebrity. Like I think the mayor of Savannah has less security than Conor McGregor did. A professional MMA fighter, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. He could have definitely defended himself, but literally. But yeah, so it was fun. We started out. You got to get down there early. Yeah. Garrett got down there early, set up for the little party, and we went over there and then walked around for a little bit, and all of a sudden it was 11 p.m. and
why is it dark out?
Yeah, and it was time to go home, but it was a good time. I saw T-Law.
Yeah.
So we were walking down to Plant Riverside and to get some dinner, and I was like, "That's T-Law right there," and he's just walking with his wife, and he had I don't know who was with him, but yeah, and I was gonna ask him for a picture, and I was like, he looked kind of. Nobody was going up to him, so I don't know if either they didn't know who it was or.
Well, and he was on the move, so I felt like that would have been bad too, to be like, "Hey, stop walking and take a picture with me in the middle of this random square in Savannah."
And I didn't want to draw any attention to him. Not that I would have, but just like stopping and taking. Oh my gosh, it's Trevor Lawrence! Yeah, stopping and taking a picture with him. But no, I just gave him a fist bump. I was like, "Oh, what's up, bro?" And our buddy Paul just started screaming, "Duval!"
I hate that sound.
Which is Garrett's favorite sound.
Yeah. The backstory on that one, I'm a pretty big LA Chargers fan, believe it or not. I've been a fan since the San Diego days. But we went down, I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast, but we went down this past season to the playoff game in Jacksonville, which, was a great first half for me and a great first half for the second half for the Jags fans.
Great last 5 minutes.
Yeah,
for
really.
The Jags
yeah.
fans.
When he threw that fourth or fifth interception in the third quarter, I was like, all right, we might could hang on. We might could do this if he still is gonna play rough. But yeah, it did not go the way I intended. But either way, either team that won that game was gonna go out the next round of the playoffs. So it was really just who's gonna make it to little bit of a playoff run. Yeah.
Yeah. But the game was fun. But yeah, it was cool to see him. We had just seen him.
Gonna cut the burp out of the yeah. You're like, it was cool to see him.
I just dominated a Jersey Mike sub before this. I'm dealing with some.
We're gonna wash that mic after this. Little work.
Dealing with some. What is it? Heartburn.
That reminds me too. Side story. We were at a bar. Were you at Poor Larry's is one of these bars in like the City Market area of downtown Savannah. Were you at Poor Larry's yet when we were watching this guy do this? The guy that was playing music down there. All right, so there was a guy playing music down there, and he had a microphone. And I mean, he came out like whatever was setting up. Blah blah. I was like, oh cool, he's about to play. The first thing he does is pull his mic out of a case and get like a toothbrush out and some rubbing alcohol. And I was like, is this dude like what? This is a weird 3 combo right here.
Yeah.
He takes the toothbrush, dips it in the rubbing alcohol, and cleans off his own microphone with rubbing alcohol. And me and another buddy of mine are just staring at him, because we've had a few to drink and we just have no self-awareness. So we're saying, he's like, oh, have y'all ever seen anyone do that? And I was like, no. And he says that like some guy like came up and sang a song last night on his mic, and he's like, anytime someone uses my mic, I clean it with alcohol.
Yeah, like, you were saying about how that because people just spit into the mics, basically.
Yeah, like all this karaoke that we sing, and we're like, accidentally like touching our faces with the mic.
Yeah,
like,
that's
gross.
That's definitely good. I'm sure the mics are disgusting after St. Patty's Day, like McDonald's or something.
All the burping and green beer. Like.
Here's another side note. Ben threw up in the bar in Jack's one time, and he came right out of the bathroom. And he had just thrown up, and they were like, Ben?
Karaoke?
And he ran up to the karaoke and sang karaoke. So if that tells you
anything.
anything.
Can you take me?
Yeah. Just maybe keep your mouth off the microphone if you're ever singing karaoke
public
downtown.
Anyway.
But yeah, back on track. T-Law was there. What I was saying is I had just seen him at the Players. And I like yelled up to him in his little booth, and I was like, Duval, and he just like looked at me, like shook his head and was laughing or whatever. But yeah, it was crazy to see him just walking around with like just his wife and a couple friends. Like it was like, I would expect him to have maybe a couple people with him, but maybe not.
1 or 2 guys. That
yeah.
But
I don't know.
I don't think he's reached that point of stardom yet. Like I
feel like he had that though at Clemson.
Yeah, true.
You don't think? What do you think, Jamari?
I mean, college is different.
Yeah, but you got to think.
When you're good in college,
Yeah, so Jamari was saying, like, in case it probably doesn't pick up on the mic, but, saying, like, college is different, which I agree, like, obviously, no college player is really walking around with security guards. And if they are, it's to, like, keep them in line, not to keep the public in line.
Yeah.
Like Baker Mayfield and stuff, walking around wanting to get in fights. Like, that's what that exists for. But yeah.
That's what who was it? Turner's brother, Austin, said that if he saw Conor McGregor, he was gonna go up and try and pick a fight with him so that he could say he got knocked out by McGregor.
Yeah, literally.
So
that's
maybe that's why they have
the security guard exists because Conor McGregor will like beat the crap out of someone.
Yeah. But yeah, St. Patty's was fun. It was a long day.
And Saturday we went out.
Yeah, Saturday we went back out. And today was like a recovery day. I went and played golf.
Yeah,
What'd you do,
I had a little
dude?
sleep in, went to the gym. Went a little, like, there's a trail around here. Went a little trail hiking. I don't really want to call that hiking when we're not in the mountains.
It's a
but
flat surface. I think it considers hiking.
I stepped over some roots today. Like, I walked on dirt today. Glorified trail.
Let's see. We could talk about the whole golf ball scandal.
Oh yes, the changing of the golf balls, as you call it.
Yes. So what are they proposing?
So I mean, like, all I've seen. So I heard about this from like on Instagram, looking at like Titleist TaylorMade. When they all sent out their statements that day that it really like made public.
Yeah.
Statement. So I don't really know what they're proposing. I know obviously it's a lesser performing golf ball and blah 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 blah. But like,
so basically, it's like, and same with you. Like I've only seen a couple clips of people talking about it, like JT and Rory were talking about it, and basically they're gonna change the golf ball that the pros use to basically not allow them to be able to hit it as far, I think, and because they are driving it, 330, 340 sometimes, guys like are just dominating the golf ball, and so it's making courses a lot easier than they technically should be. And so I think and what they're doing is they're going to change the golf ball to make it less. So what does it say?
Yeah, that's what I'm reading here. So credit to CBS Golf. They're basically saying that like the way they're going to limit the rule, which this is what I didn't understand, is like, can you not use certain materials, blah blah blah. No, it's basically going to say like, obviously all these golf balls get tested in like standardized ways. So it's going to say the ball can only travel 317 yards with 3 yards of tolerance at 127 miles per hour of club head speed. So like obviously I guess they got a machine that will hit the driver or whatever at 127 miles an hour club head speed, and basically you can only go up to 317.
But I think the whole reason that the players were upset, one, obviously because now they're gonna have to figure out a new way.
Yeah.
They've been doing all these new training techniques and everything to get their club head speed up. Like you see Bryson DeChambeau just going insane on like his club head speed and stuff like that. And yeah, he didn't have that much success towards the end of his PGA career, but you see these guys right now. Like I'm pretty sure the other day, like I posted a video on TikTok and Rahm hit a bad drive, but the speed of the ball off his club face is 185 miles an hour.
On a bad drive.
Yeah, on a bad drive. And so I think what the players were upset about and what they were saying is that one of the coolest things about golf is that me and you can go out to a course and use the same equipment and the same balls that the pros are using on the week, on their weekend tournaments. And that's what's so cool is like you're basically using the same equipment. So, the pros for baseball, the pros for NFL, like there's different equipment that like your everyday person isn't really using.
Yeah.
And so like for example, baseball, when you're, playing in college, you're using a metal bat. When you get to the pros, you're using a wood bat, something similar to that. Whereas golf, you go and you pick up your Pro V1 from, Dick's Sporting Goods, Evan Watts, whatever, PGA Superstore if they would build one in Savannah. And
if you want more
and that's
shout-outs.
the same golf ball that JT is using in freaking Ponte Vedra at the Players.
Yeah.
So
and that's something I brought up, like, because I was like, let me get a non-golf opinion. So I brought it to my girlfriend, who doesn't know much about like that side of golf at all. But anyway, she was what? I know she's not an expert, but she was saying like, oh, why don't they just make the courses longer? And I was like, well, they have, but I think at the end of the day, like all these already historic, like you can't make most of these, like, Augusta National, Atlanta, like you can't make these courses much longer than they already are. I mean, and without doing major construction.
yeah,
You can't, and so the whole point is like they're trying to preserve the history, so they've kind of maxed out on how long they can make a lot of these courses. And I told her that, back in like the 90s and stuff, high 6,000s was like a long course.
yeah,
Me and you go out and play high 6,000s every time we play.
yeah.
Like we'll play, like we'll go out and play like a 7,000 yard course, whatever. Where the pros are playing, 73, 74, I don't know how high or whatever. But like, they can't really afford to make it any longer and keep the historical value of the layout of the courses as they exist right now. Like,
it's basically
Palmer
just like
and all these guys
a
that
long
design
drive
these courses.
competition.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. Like, and I know they've limited like driver, like how many CCs and stuff it can be and the materials you can use and all that. So I guess like, I don't know. I think what you should do with the ball is just limit it from getting any better. If you're going to limit it, just say, okay, this is it. Like we're drawing the line. Like we've got to chill. Like quit developing, because that's what all these companies are doing. They're so limited on club specifications that they're just like, let's just pour it all into research and development for the golf ball because there's no limits. And so the USGA has obviously realized that. So I respect that. Like, we want to keep it a little reeled in, and I get it that we don't want this to turn into some crazy thing where people are driving 400 or 500 yards all the time.
Yeah,
like eventually down the road.
They're driving
whatever.
the green every time.
Yeah, they can't even play par fives or par fours now. I get it, but that's the thing is you gotta.
I don't know.
Choose something.
I don't know, because I think, it would suck to just see guys going out and driving the green every time, but also would it suck? Because imagine like you're sitting there, you go to a tournament and you're watching these guys drive the green on a 420 yard par 4 because it's downwind and a little bit downhill, and they can get it up in the air and get it there. They're carrying it 320 and it's rolling something crazy, but I don't know. I mean, because I couldn't do that. You know what I mean? Like the normal golfer couldn't do that. So there's still limitations that your normal golfer has from a pro golfer, but it's just cool to think I'm using the same stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I'm paying way more. But
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not getting. I'm
paying. What is it? They raised the price $55 for a
box
case
of Pro Vs.
Yeah, which is absurd.
But yeah, so that's something to talk about. So maybe put in the comments whether you think it's good that they are thinking about? Is it official, or are they thinking
No,
about
so
it?
USGA wants to do it, but obviously USGA is just like the governing body. You know, I mean, I
Yeah.
don't even know how to like compare that to any other league because, I mean, USGA is like just the national association.
So what do you think as a live marketing guy? I would maybe say we're not going to limit
Yeah.
the
for sure.
technology on the
Yeah.
golf ball.
Yeah.
And
They're
so
gonna
you
start
can
using
use
those
whatever.
drivers with like the triggers on them that shoot. Like
Yeah, it's just gonna be
compressed
bouncy balls.
air. Yeah.
They're just gonna have freaking bouncy balls rolling out there.
Or just go the other way and just do those little practice foam balls and be like,
Yeah.
you got to play a whole round with this now.
yeah, or change it up between each hole or something crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see Liv coming out and doing something to be like, oh look what we
Yeah,
got. So
it's
maybe
more
you should
fun
come over.
Here, the fun league.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But-
I mean, I think there's just other ways, you know. I mean, if you want the course to be harder, obviously, you know, no one wants to limit the average golfer. So I think everyone agrees that the cool part about golf is that we can all play with the same equipment, same ball, all of that. So with that being like the non-negotiable, that's not a variable. Let's draw that line in the sand. Okay, so how do we make it harder for the top tier people? Because it's fine that the average golfer can go out there and, you know, break 80. That's great. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you want that because that's what gets people involved in golf. No one wants to go out there and shoot over 100. I mean, maybe some people do. But every time, you know,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I do it occasionally, but, you know, every time that'd be so frustrating. No one would ever want to golf. So
Yeah.
you don't want to limit it. You know, the people who are already like, you know, can't even break 100, you don't want to limit them any more than they already are. Like, or they're just going to
Yeah.
be exhausted by the end of the round because they've hit 120 shots, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So that being the line in the sand, just make it harder for the pros. Obviously, you can push tee boxes back, which they've already done. Grow the grass out. Like, make the rough, and be
Yeah.
like, you know, you want to drive it 400 yards, Buckaroo, hit it in the fairway then.
Yeah.
Let's go. Like,
Yeah,
try.
I think that, and I
Because
think
if you hit
that's
it in
what
the
a lot
rough,
of
you're going to have to take so many clubs up, and it's going to make it way harder because now you got to factor in the wind. Like, when you club up, okay, what if I club up and catch it clean? I'm hitting it over the green. Like, there's a lot more thought.
yeah.
Challenge them that way. Be like, okay, if you want to pull driver out every hole, then let's do it. We're going to grow up the rough. Like, you know, turn
I think that's
the-
what a lot of courses have done.
yeah, make the first cut of rough be the fairway now. You know, like just make
Yeah.
everything thicker. That's fine. Like, you know, do that, grow it out, and then make it where you're really punished for hitting it in the rough, you know, and that way, you know, your average city course can just keep doing what they're doing because it's fine because it's average golfers.
Yeah.
But the pros, you know, when they come into town, you go, okay, like, sorry, members, but for this month, we're growing out the grass and like
Yeah.
we got to start prepping it. So, you know, it's just going to be harder to play. Play a tee box up, you know?
Yeah, I think a lot of a lot of courses have done that, and I remember, what was the? Dang, I'm trying to think of the two tournaments before the Players. The Genesis Invitational.
Yeah,
Where was
right
that one?
before. L.A., right? Or
It was in California
yeah, it was
somewhere.
not in California. I think it was in L.A.
But, anyways, I remember I saw Garrett. No.
Horvath.
Yeah, Grant. I always get them confused.
Yeah.
Grant.
Yeah, it's L.A.
Yeah, Grant went out there and played. He posted a video on his YouTube, and he got to play like in the Pro-Am or something like that, and he filmed it, and he was saying like how thick the rough was, and like they grew it out, and then they were making the greens firm, like extremely firm.
they
So they
roll
had
so
just put like a whole layer of sand over all the greens, and I think that they were doing it because they wanted the players, okay, if you're going to hit it long, exactly where you're saying, if you're going to hit it long, then you got to be in the fairway.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, and you're having to hit out of that rough, you're not going to get any spin, and you're
Yeah.
not going to hold the green, and then that.
So more guys,
then it
basically no one will take driver anymore except on the par fives, which
Yeah.
is the way really as a pro it should be, and that's what most of them do. Like,
Yeah, it kind of depends. That's it can help the average golfer. You know, I'm nowhere close to anybody that could be able to give you advice, but one thing that I could say is that, you know, look at the course instead of just taking driver off of every par 4. Look at the course and see, like, okay, where do I need to be to have a good shot in? You know, what's your best club from 180 yards in?
yeah.
If it is your 9-iron and you hit your 9-iron 140 to 150 yards, see what club you need to hit
Set
off the tee
yourself up,
box
play
to
smart,
be on
yeah.
that to have that yardage into the green, and you will improve so much on your
Yeah.
game. That
I've
has helped
finally
me so
gotten
much.
to that point in my like golfing that I'm finally good enough to be like, you know, not only do I not hit, like, driver's the worst club in my bag as it is for a lot of people just because I can't control the slice, but also just take these and turn them tighter, and then that
Okay.
mic will stay. Yeah, that way you're not like having to let it go that way. But
It's
anyway,
my first podcast.
little lesson. Yeah, act like you've done this 5 other times, please.
I keep doing it, but I think I play with it so much
And
when
then
I'm talking.
I would do this straight up. So pull that towards you if you want it closer instead of pointing that like that. Like pull that towards you. Put this just a little bit and put that straight up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now I
there we
can play
go. Now we're cooking. But anyway, what was
Yes.
I saying? I can't remember.
You were talking about how.
Oh yeah, you can finally
yeah.
plan like what clubs you want to hit. Like, again, I don't hit driver very well, but I might hit. I do hit 3-wood decent, which is hilarious because normally 3-wood's one of the harder clubs to hit in the
Yeah.
bag. But I can put 3-wood off a tee. I can hit pretty well.
Yeah.
So I'll hit 3-wood and be like, why would I take my sliced driver that might be 10 or 20 yards further, but it's like on the cart path or in the woods.
Or it may not be in the fairway.
Yeah, versus a 3-wood that like is either fairway or like, maybe just into the rough. I still have a good line. I'm not playing through trees. I'm not doing whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 20, 30 yards further or shorter, but maybe that's a good club for me, whatever. Like, I get on the par 5s or if it's a more open hole, like I got to take the risk and shave some strokes somewhere.
Yeah.
But, play a little bit smarter. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that has helped me out tremendously is especially on like a course that I don't know. So like courses that you play all the time, like your local course or your home course, whatever it is, if you play it a bunch and you're like, okay, yeah, I can hit driver here. I know like where to land the driver, or you're confident
where
with
my
that.
miss is.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
your miss.
Yeah, and so like that's okay, but like if you go to a course that you never played and you're on like a golf trip, like you want to get up on the tee box and you want to hit the drive and all, you want all the people on the at the range to be like but but if you want to like shoot better scores, go out there and say, okay, how far is this? This is a 385 yard par 4. Instead of trying to take instead of trying to take driver off and saying, oh, I'm gonna try and drive this green or leave it, try and get it close. Take 4-iron, take a 5-iron and leave yourself 150 in and play it that way. That has helped me out so much, dude.
Yeah, because I would argue that a lot of players, especially the average player, are way better with their 8-iron than they are if you put a 54 degree in their hand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they're at least like they know how to swing an 8-iron. Like yes, they're not going to get as much spin. They might whatever, but I would argue that their miss to the pin with a 54 trying to like hit a little approach shot. From,
instead of blading
80,
it over
90,
the green.
Yeah, like trying to be like, oh, let me get
or
some
chunking
touch,
it.
whatever. Like, the most average golfers suck at like, around the green. So
leave yourself a full shot.
Yeah, leave yourself a full, even if it's a 9 or a pitching wedge, don't try and hit 56, 58, 54. If you just play to your game. I think that makes sense.
And it gets a little frustrating at first because you're like, okay, I'm 150 yards in, so like instead of being 30 yards in where you're like, oh, maybe I could just putt this, like putt it up there, but.
Yeah.
Like you're 150, and so then if that's your best club, then you got to have confidence in it and be able to get it on the green. So it kind of varies, but I mean that's what has helped me.
Like
so.
I like that 100-ish yard or 110 because like that puts me between like I have a 48 and a 54, and that kind of yardage, I can be like, oh, do I like soft step my 48?
Yeah.
Or based off like what cut I'm in, how much spin, how
everything.
The green. So
how far you need
nice.
to carry
like,
it.
That gives me a
little
bit of an art, but I'd rather hit that shot than hit like a 30-yard shot.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I'd rather hit 100 yards out than 30 because I just know that from 100 yards out I am way more consistent than that 30-yard that I might like hit the edge of the green and roll off.
Exactly.
Or skull it over.
Exactly. So that's our advice for the week. There we go. Cheers.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Here's how to be a better golfer. All right. I guess we're just gonna cut it here. Why are you laughing, bro?
Sorry, bro. Come on, bro. This is showbiz, baby. Come on.
We're cutting it here. You got to go 1, 2, 3 scene. You know what I mean? And we appreciate everybody watching. All that stuff. Like, subscribe, comment, please. Put in the please comment. Please. But yeah, put in the comments if you're still watching, which you probably aren't, but put in the comments what you think about the ball whole situation.
Yeah.
And we will we'll see you on the next episode.
Peace.